In this video, let's find out what Doorthy weighs. She's a 1966 Plymouth Belvedere, used to have a Poly 318, and now has a 383 big block. All right, very interesting. So the Belvedere weighs less with the 383. Spare tire in the trunk, that was the only big difference. And it weighed 3,500 with that spare tire. Maybe I'll throw a wheel on here and see how much of a difference it makes. Be right back. $34.60. Wow, 383s are lighter than Poly 318s. That is crazy. All right. So something I had forgotten about when I filmed this video was that the steering box was changed as well. So we went from the Poly to the 383. We had a manual steering box. The steering box on a manual steering is cast iron, so it's extremely heavy. Plus you have the power steering pump. When we switch to the manual box, the case on the manual box is aluminum. It's much smaller. It's probably half the size of a power steering box. And you obviously don't have a power steering pump. So my guess is that most of the weight savings actually came from the steering box swap out to manual. So let's see how much weight. We'll pull the spare back out and we'll put the aluminum rear wheels with the slicks on it and see how much lighter that gets. Just changing one wheel. We're down to 34.27. Now let's change the other one. Oh. 3,400 pounds. That's awesome. So basically, when we went from the Poly 318 to the 383, the two engines probably weigh about the same. I believe an LA motor, and I don't know for sure, but I think the LA motor compared to a big block Mopar is about 200 pounds difference. So we should have gained 200 pounds going to the big block, but instead it was, I believe, net zero. I believe the weight savings that we got out of the car were mostly due to the power steering box and the power steering pump. Also, what we just saw, the spare tire was about 20 pounds. Switching from the rear steel wheels and tires that were on the car to the weld aluminum wheels and slicks, we dropped another 40 pounds between each side. So those three steel wheels with tires, switching to the aluminum wheels in the back and the slicks, dropped to 60 pounds. So the car weighs 3,400 pounds now, which is pretty good. My 69 Roadrunner I had weighed 3,400 pounds with a 440 big block in it. So, and I'm saying that's really good because this is a freaking four-door. Now, the earlier B bodies, the 67 and older, they're a smaller car than the 69 and later B bodies, so it kind of makes sense that it would be lighter. But then being a four-door, there's so much more, structure, framing around the rear doors and stuff. That adds a lot of weight to the car. So I imagine a two-door is pretty light compared to the 69 to 70 generation B bodies. But, this isn't bad. I mean, an early B-body four-door is actually a fairly light car and comparable to a 69 to 70 B-body that's a two-door. So if you want to do something on a budget, this isn't a bad way to go. All right, so that aside, I mean, we had all this racing Jeremy, so there's no gains against racing him. We made all these improvements prior to our race. So since we raced sort of stock Mopars, there's really no change because we had the weld wheels on it at Verona. We had the 383 in it at Verona, so we just didn't know. But the car weighed 3,400 pounds. So we're going into racing him exactly the same as we did when we were at Verona. But so if it's 60 pounds, I think the spare tire was about 15 pounds. So we're looking at 45 pounds weight savings in the rear. We could probably pull out another 40 pounds, 30 to 40 pounds if we change the front wheels and tires to skinnies. If I pull them off the duster, man, do I want to do that? I feel like I should. The only thing I don't like is, I don't think I am, because the skinnies on the duster are kind of squirrely, and we never got the full alignment kind of squared away on the Belvedere. It's just aligned straight. It's not, camber and caster haven't been dialed in on it. And I could feel driving the car, it does a little sway to it, you know, at speed. And Tucson is a quarter-mile track, so that's kind of a long ways to get squirrely, high speed to get squirrely. So I think I'm gonna leave the street tires on it for now. Plus, I really want to race Jeremy exactly how we raced him at Verona to see what the outcome would have been, you know? I don't want to throw any extra advantages into the car right now. I don't know what he's doing. He might be pulling weight out or something, but yeah, I just want to leave the car the way it is and see what it does. We know Jeremy's ET, so it's a 947. So if he goes a lot faster, then we know he made some changes. So you can see what I was pondering prior to duct tape drags. Knowing what we know now that we did the rematch with Jeremy, we lost by 0.06, which is 600ths of a second to him in the quarter mile. There's a good chance, had I put the aluminum wheels on the front, that would have lightened the car just enough to maybe squeak past him at the end of the track. It was a great race. It was a great time. If you watch that video, and I'll put it here at the end, but definitely go check it out. Duct tape drags was awesome. During our rematch, I might point out and add, I beat him in the 8th mile. So I beat him to the 8th mile, and then he went around me. So yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love doing stuff like this. I was kind of surprised that the car came in at 3,400 pounds, putting the big block in it. I thought it would get heavier, but it got lighter with the steering box change and the wheel change. So I don't really want to make the car, you know, a dedicated drag car. It's a street car. I want to leave it a street car. If we could squeeze a little more weight out of the car somehow, maybe we will. But I'm not going to do a full gut on the car or anything like that. You know, maybe we'll put some lighter weight seats on the front or something, pull the carpet out, that kind of stuff. A few things that aren't necessary, you know, maybe splash guards or something like that. See if we could squeeze another 100 pounds out of the car. It'd be kind of cool. And then the other thing is we had some cutting out issues during our 4th pass there at the track. We did a hot lap. So it feels like it was like a vapor lock. The car didn't overheat, didn't have any issues there, but it was just hot in the engine compartment. And I never hot lapped the car before. So cut out straight out of the line, and then it kind of picked back up. It could also be an ignition issue. So we might change the ignition. I'm not sure. I don't like doing a bunch of stuff at the same time. I kind of like to see what each change does as far as improving the car's performance or perhaps not improving it. So I'll either change the ignition system or I'll change the carburetor, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like if you can, guys. It kind of, you know, helps the algorithm and stuff. And if you feel inclined to share it or to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, that always helps a ton too. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and well, I mean, I'm filming this on the weekend. You might not see it till Thursday. So have a great weekend when you get there. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.